We've been married 8 years with 2 beautiful children, 6 and 7, whom I love with all my heart. I'm 37 and she's 34. Out of the blue a week ago, she reacted badly to a mess on the kitchen counter, which evolved into this full fight about how she feels like I'm her maid. For context, I do the laundry, sometimes I cook dinner, I send the kids to school and enrichment, because I want to. But this time I was lazy and didn't clear the counter. The talks we had after this fight ranged from her talking about her regrets, where she used to be really outgoing, but is now saddled with responsibilities, to talking about our love and sex life. Now I admit my fault in the marriage. I've never been good with showing love, though I do say it through words. I've told her how she's my rock and how grateful I am when she pulled me out of a couple of depressive periods. As for our sex life, I have a pretty low one. But I do try to initiate. Got shot down sometimes. Other times when she initiates, I'll need to react enthusiastically immediately, if not she turns over and gets upset. Then it becomes me who's groveling for sex, which of course doesn't happen. Anyway, back to the fight. I acknowledged my fault in the breakdown, and vowed to do better, and she just reacts like it's a lost cause. She tells me to do what I need to, and give her some time. So I gave her space while making sure I'm more attentive around her and the house. Over the next few days, I start noticing her constantly on her phone. She's usually just watching Netflix, and also taking calls late into the night. In one of our talks after the fight, she mentioned, what if I found someone else? Putting 2 and 2 together, I confronted her and asked if there's someone else. Of course there is. It's a guy she met online a few days before our big fight. He's from another country, and she hasn't even met him in person. I fought back the urge to react with anger, and the topic of ending the marriage came up. Over the next few days, we've had talks about the options we have. Today, she came to me with an option. Continue to live in the same house and co-parent the kids. It's a partnership and no longer a marriage. Explain to the kids what's happening to help them understand. I told her, so you want me to continue living here while watching the woman I love give herself to someone else? Of course she reacted negatively. I asked if she was still talking to him after I confronted her, and she said yes. Some more background, both of us came from broken families. I myself from one where my mom cheated on my dad and moved out when I was 10. We resolved to never have our kids go through the same thing. But here we are. It's this point above that made her emotional. Because I want to show the kids that relationships can end, and let them see how to gracefully exit one with minimal hurt to everyone around. We're still trying to figure this out. Also, my dad is living with me. I convinced him, with my wife's blessing, to move into my spare room and rent out his apartment so he can retire. He's pushing 80, healthy, and the kids love him. If I go, it'll probably force him to leave too. When we part ways, the kids are my biggest worry. I could kick her out. She said she will accept it if that is my decision. But she is the mother of my children, and I don't want them to see something so ugly. If it goes to court, then I'm sure to lose the kids because my country has a very strong law that sees children from divorced parents end up with their mother. I've been having anxiety over the last few days just thinking about not being with my children. I don't know what to do from here. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. My wife of 14 years finally admitted to having an affair with a coworker/longtime friend. In December, I found a bad-looking text, but she explained it away. Not 100% satisfied, I checked her emails 2 weeks later and found some pretty damning messages: bored in a meeting and thinking of you, taste test, wife sending her hotel information for an out-of-town talk, etc. Once again, she explained that it was all innocent and that while inappropriate, she would never do anything with him as they've known each other for years and she knows it's safe. If nothing else, there was a strong emotional affair, but I was pretty sure it was more. I discovered that somehow her texts were showing up on our daughter's iPad. We have 3 young children. These texts not only left no ambiguity about what was happening, but also plotted out their plan for lying to me. I confronted her with this, and she had no choice to admit it. This was 5 days ago. Since D-Day, she's been a wreck, crying, loss of appetite, begging for forgiveness, telling me that it didn't mean anything and that she'd do anything to stay together. I've also been less than great, to say the least. We've had a couple of conversations and she tells me that he means nothing to her, that she was flattered at the attention she was getting, that the sex with him was pretty infrequent and wasn't even that good, that she loves me and is riddled with guilt for what she did. She swears that this has woken her up and she will absolutely change. I believe her. Well, I believe that she really believes what she is saying. I don't believe that she can say what will happen in the future. I don't believe that she won't resent me if we stay together and she needs to change. I don't believe that she can and will change. I don't know what to do. I feel absolutely betrayed. I left my dream job to move and support her career. I am the one who does most of the heavy lifting with chores around the house, etc. I am the one who tried to have conversations about our far from perfect marriage and was constantly pushed aside. This should be easy. I should ask for a divorce. I should move on and find someone I deserve. However, there is something keeping me from doing that. Maybe it's just too fresh. Maybe it's the 14 years and 3 kids. Maybe it's that I really believe her sincerity and that she will never do anything like this again and she'll be more open and we could get the great marriage that we once had even better. Back. I'm really struggling to reconcile the messages back and forth between them and the very apparent love as well as her never stopping it until absolutely necessary. Even after she was semi-caught, they continued planning for an upcoming conference together, with her current actions/guilt/comments that she never truly felt that way about him. I told her that it doesn't make any sense. She agrees. As an aside, he is, and for a long time has been absolutely in love with her and would leave his wife and 3 kids for her in a heartbeat, I believe. Am I a total idiot for even considering trying to work things out? July 2020. My ex-husband proclaimed he had been unhappy forever and deserved someone more special than me. My world came crashing down. All these years, 13, I believed I had this rare special kind of love. I had found this slice of heaven. He was enough. Taking care of him was enough. But I was in the matrix. I didn't know any better. He never yelled at me and seemed supportive on the surface. However, he slowly eroded my self-esteem. I constantly was in fear of letting him down. Not that he got angry, but I could feel the disappointment. It was pretty easy to let him down. Laundry not folded the same day? A dish in the sink? Not wanting to work in our garden every day in the weekend? Not wanting to spend time with him in his garage all the time, because spending quality time with him meant doing what he wanted. I felt I was always at a deficit trying to keep up. However, he felt so safe. His body an extension of mine. I loved touching him and spending time with him. We laughed, had inside jokes and great discussions all those years. But today, I am out of the matrix. I have realized the damage he has done over the years to my self-esteem. How I was addicted to his confirmation and thought I would die without it. Seeing myself only through his eyes. The cheating was the meanest but only conclusion of our relationship. He can't be without a source for his ego. I was slowly rising above what he could control. Stealing his spotlight. Outperforming him in everything. Becoming confident and strong. He needed a low insecure girl and boy, did he find one. I now know I was comfortable. As I am low maintenance, I confused it with happy. However, I was tired all the time, struggling with my self-esteem. Desperate at times when he went through depressive episodes and when he yet again wanted a lifestyle bigger than we could afford. I am not the same person. I can see him now for what he is. A sad little insecure empty person trying to grab at straws to make his hollow self feel full. He has no passion and love. He simply can't give that. I remember the first time I kissed another person. It was like electricity. I never felt this passion ever before. I was kissing a person who actually desired me, and it was magical. I am still single but experienced people's words matching the feeling they give me. telling me they missed me, and I could feel it in their hug. For the first time in my life, someone calls me beautiful and my brain goes, I know. Instead of no, he is just saying that to be nice. For the first time ever, I honestly don't care if people want me. If they don't, I don't take it personal. Thank you. Next. I will not settle. I will not be okay with scraps and breadcrumbs. People go for me, or they don't, and that is fine. I look at myself now, and can't believe how I was okay with being who I was. I am a lioness now. I used to be a declawed kitten. I am a better person on so many levels, and I can just taste how out of his league I am today. Sometimes I have a little laugh thinking about him trying to be with me today. How much of a bad time he would have. The hoops I wouldn't jump, not being able to control me. It would make him miserable.